The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Women's Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericawomen.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everybody. I hope that you're having an amazing day. And today is a special day. February 14th here in the States, we're celebrating Valentine's Day. And I find some people lean into this special day and they're excited and looking forward to connecting with those that they're close to and celebrating it. And then others approach it and want to go into hiding, or it can be kind of a tender place to be. And others, I find it just kind of is another day that passes by. Even sometimes in relationships, it can be viewed differently by couples. One partner will view it one way and another a different way. And so I find this is a great time of year, a special day to really lean in and let's have a candid, from the heart conversation about Valentine's Day, about loss, about true love, so that we can really come together around this special holiday and sink in deeply to however you're wanting it to be for you. That we're walking beside you during this day. I want to send love out to each and every one of you, from my heart to yours, as we lean into this conversation. And I want you to think about, what does Valentine's Day mean to you, if anything? Is there a grief or a loss of some sort that feels a little bit more tender during this time? Or is there a seeking of really wanting true love and that soulmate love in your life? Is that where you're at? I want you to think about, where are you in relationship to love? With friends, with family, even with the work that you do? Where are you in that? And are you doing things in your life to pour into you, to fill your heart to overflowing? Are you remembering to give yourself love, to send yourself love as you go through the day and the week and this time together? And this is a day I want to encourage you to pay special attention to yourself, to supporting yourself and helping you feel cherished and loved. And actually, what I was doing today, and I actually had to blow out one of the candles, but I had two candles that I'm burning today. One of them is a love candle. So it has wonderful cinnamon scents with it. And there's another one that's called, it's by Woodwick, called Evening Bonfire. I was trying to read the name over there. And why I love that is it has a campfire kind of bonfire smell, but it also has that campfire sound, like a fire burning in the fireplace. And I always find that romantic, and I enjoy that. So I've been enjoying both of those candles today. But the fire one was so robust, I thought it would be a little bit distracting in the background for our conversation. So I want you to imagine it's burning. But those are two scents that make me feel nourished and romantic, and I really enjoy and feel special by weaving that into my life. So there are different practices that you can build to help you feel loved, to help you feel supported. And I want you to think about what it is that you need today. We get so busy running from one thing to the next, we forget to stop and listen. We sometimes forget to include us, ourselves, and our needs, and our wants, and our desires in the equation. So today, I celebrate that you're allowing us to have this time together, to connect heart to heart, to let us pour into you, nourish you, equip and empower you, heart to heart, as we come together to have this conversation. And I want you to get the most out of our time together today. So I'm going to give you tips throughout this time together so that you're able to stay really present and receive all that is here for you today. But to start that, I want us to become very present. For those of you who are driving, please stay alert, eyes open, no texting and driving. Those of you who are able to, though, and you're sitting in a chair or can sit in a chair, I invite you to do that. Put both feet on the floor, one hand on your heart, one hand on your head. Breathe in deeply through your nose, expanding your belly, even bigger, and breathe out through your mouth. Let's do a couple more deep breaths. Close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. I want to bring all of us in heart, mind, body, soul, and spirit to a moment of pausing, breathing, keep breathing, listening, and receiving. And I want to ask the question, what is it that you need today? What is it that will encourage you, empower you, help you feel nourished, loved, cherished? What is it that you need today? Just listen. What is it you need? And the second part of that question is, what are you willing to receive? Willing to lean into. Sometimes those are different answers. So just receive that information, what it is that you need today, right now, that will encourage, empower, equip, and support you, and that you are willing to receive, you're willing to lean into. Take another breath. Open up your eyes. Become fully present. I invite you to write down whatever it is that you need today. Let's keep it top of mind. It's so easy in the hustle and bustle of life to forget what it is we need. And sometimes it can be right in front of us and we miss it because we forgot to be on the lookout for what it is that we need. Or we step around it, not recognizing that's exactly what we needed today. And I want you to lean into every one of those opportunities and receive everything that is here for you today that you need. And I'm going to send out a blessing that you even have something beyond what you need, a wonderful surprise that is brought into your life today that you receive and lean into. That is my Valentine's Day gift to each of you. And as we come back into the room and connected, and you've captured what it is that you need that will encourage, equip, and empower you today, I wanted to go around our virtual room. We have two amazing guests that are experts around loss and true love. We wanted to bring those beautiful pieces together in a conversation. So they're gathered in the virtual room with us today, and I wanted to take a moment to see what was laid upon their heart. So Dr. Michelle Perticolas, what was laid upon your heart?
What came to me was taking more pauses throughout the day to check in with myself and be aware of how I feel in the moment. I get, as you say, so caught up in being in computer land, and I just keep on going. And I think stopping regularly, maybe even setting a little timer that reminds me to stop and say, how am I feeling? And notice what I'm grateful for.
Oh, beautiful. I love that, pausing and building it in for those of us who can get caught up in the day or in computer land or in our head. I think that's a great idea, is setting a timer, really building it in where we remember to pause, touch into actually how we are feeling, I think is really, really important. So thank you for sharing. Beautiful share. And Kathleen, did you have something laid upon your heart?
Yes, I did. It was actually a very sweet memory that had high impact for me. Mm-hmm. And that was, I sort of lived in the question my whole life about, I had wanted my father particularly to think that I was precious. And that wasn't the experience I had in my childhood. So I sort of lived with that yearning, wanting somebody to think I'm precious. And I never spoke to my late husband about it. And I was in process with it and, noticing it more, the feeling like that yearning feeling of somebody seeing me at that level, like a precious child. Mm-hmm. And what I ended up doing was I created a life purpose statement that was very meaningful to me. And in it, I put the word celebrate the preciousness of this joyous dance of life as part of the phrase. And probably 2 or 3, and I didn't read it to my husband. I didn't talk to my late husband about it at all. And about 2 weeks later, he came in the kitchen and he hugged me and he put his hands on my face and he looked into my eyes and he said, "You're so precious." And I had never talked to him about how important that word was to me.
Yes.
So what laid on my heart when you were speaking was how much I went through my own process to embody what I needed.
Yes.
Not from anything outside myself. And then it came to me naturally, and it was quite impactful for me.
Oh, and it's impactful for me just having you share that message and that memory with us. Thank you for sharing. Uh-huh. And that is such a special word, precious. And another word that resonates for me is, cherished and precious. Just really, really beautiful. So thank you for sharing, Kathleen. I really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm, thank you.
And listeners, what was laid on your heart? I want you to know that each of you are so special and absolutely needed in this world. And I want you to take a moment as we go into this next commercial break. So here's a way first commercial break. Here's a way to really maximize your experience today. Stay present. Don't run off trying to cross things off the to-do list. Stay really present. Give yourself the gift of those 2 minutes. And what I want to invite you to do is to stay in this place of what is it that you need? And is it a reminder of how special and precious and cherished you are? And I want you to really sit in that space, lean into that, and see what it is that you need today that we can pour into you. And when we come back, we're going to start those amazing expert interviews to equip and empower you. But right now, give yourself the gift of these 2 minutes just for you. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Voice America Women. Your passion starts here. Tune in to the Just Jan TV show at justjantvshow.com. Visionary women's leader Jan Jorgensen is inspiring, practical, and visionary. Jan brings us everyday transformational emerging leaders, courageously changing the world by speaking and living their truth. Sit around the table with us for profound feminine wisdom, insights, and connection. Be sure to join us at justjantvshow.com. New episodes are every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time at justjantvshow.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you took those 2 minutes just for you, that you could feel love, that you are cherished, that you are precious, that you are an amazing gift to the world. Just by being you, you are absolutely enough. And to support you on this very special day, we have two amazing guest experts, and we're going to start the conversation with our first guest expert. You heard a little bit of her heartbeat as she shared about remembering to pause throughout the day. But I wanted to give you a more formal introduction before we start our conversation. So Dr. Michelle Perticolas is a national speaker and expert of grief and loss. She has a PhD in sociology and psychology, is the producer of the award-winning 3-part documentary called Secrets of Life and Death, and is the creator of the Transform Your Grief and Thrive. And I love how she beautifully weaves those concepts together, grief and thriving, Transform Your Grief and Thrive program. She's absolutely passionate about helping you navigate the challenges of grief and loss. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Dr. Michelle Peticolas to the show. Welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you for inviting me on your wonderful show.
You are so welcome, and I'm excited to have you here. And one of the reasons I'm so excited is when I met you and had the opportunity to hear you present around grief and loss, you were able to do it with such a loving and warm and even joyful way. And I appreciated that mixture. And there was such depth and such love and such knowledge in how you approach the subject. So I deeply appreciate how you are in the work that you do.
Thank you, Rebecca.
You're very welcome. And I'd love to start our conversation with why. Why is this work of helping people navigate through grief and loss, transform their grief into thriving, why is that personally so important to you?
Well, it's taken me a long time to decipher all the reasons behind that. At first, it was just the response I had to the loss of my own parents and how impactful it was that it made me curious rather than running away. But as I have worked in this field, both in creating the films and then getting them out into the community and doing workshops, is that my own path started at the age of 2 when I decided to stop feeling. And it was kind of one of these fluky things where my father, who was in the armed forces at the time, was transferred to another location, and I was separated from him for who knows how long. Not very long, and he didn't die or anything. He came back. But in that 2-year-old mind, I was, inconsolable. And I had not bonded with my mother because she had 2 other daughters. And I decided in my 2-year-old mind not to feel. And so my journey has been to reclaim my senses, to reclaim my body. And I realized that grief, especially a significant loss, is such an opportunity to really tap in to ourselves, to really find out where the wounds are and heal them.
Yes. Yes. Oh, and that just ties in so beautifully to your comment in the beginning, to you're so in alignment. I love it about remembering to pause and feel throughout the day. That you're seeking to really build that in, because it's so easy to, for me at least, to cross things off my list and keep going. And that's fun for me, or I can get caught up in my mind and planning, and remembering to feel also creates a real richness in life as well. Well, thank you for sharing. And can you share, if you want to expand a little bit more on what you shared with us, about what particularly drew you to this work, to helping people with their grief? Why?
Well, when my parents died, I made a lot of mistakes. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, who teaches you about it? This was back in 1998. And at the time, I was working in community access TV, and I decided to do a show on death, and it was so amazing. There was so much magic, and there was so much mystery about it that I got hooked. And that's when I decided to make my documentary, which morphed into 3 documentaries. And I had this idea that, someday I would be out there talking to people about this, because I was so excited. And what I learned is that you actually have to go out and promote yourself, because nobody comes and knocks on the door and says, oh, please come out and share this. At least it didn't happen to me. Maybe for some people it does. So I started promoting my films and started doing workshops, and eventually got a grant from the Lloyd Symington Foundation to take my work to the cancer community, where people deal with grief and loss every day. And I learned from them. I learned from the people that I interviewed, and it just helped me to live my life more fully. And in a sense, losing my parents gave me a direction in where I was going to lead my life, what I was going to do. So I see grief as a gateway. And I think that's the special thing that I offer for people, is a different way of looking at grief, as not just something to get through, but as this huge opportunity. Now, sure, in the first few months, your body is in a state of chaos. If it's somebody who's you've spent time with every day, it's very disorienting to this physical organism that we reside in. And so that's the first thing you need to take care of. But afterwards, you want to see what the lessons are, what you can learn, and how that you can incorporate that into your life.
Well, and I love what you're sharing here, that there is this magic and this mystery, and almost, you didn't say this, but I feel like it when you're sharing, like this wonder and so much to be discovered in going through the grief and the loss, and what is there for you to lean into and to learn and to grow and to discover, that it's not just that overwhelming emotion and heaviness that we can feel, but there's also a silver lining and some wonderful things that can be discovered on that journey as well. And that's very hopeful. So I appreciate that.
Well, that's what I found out. And that even in the throes of the worst emotions, if you surrender to them, and of course that's my lesson, surrendering to the sensation and the feelings, it can actually be ecstatic. It just can break your heart open in ways that it was never open before.
And is this part of how it can help us move forward or spring forward as part of that surrendering? Because I know one of the themes we like to talk about in the spring is springing forward. So what are your thoughts around that?
Absolutely. That is, it's like we learn to look at the shadow part of our lives as the most valuable, because that's where we learn. That's where we get catapulted out. It's like pulling back on the bowstring, pulling back, you pull back really, really far because you're going down, but it actually gives you the momentum to push you forward towards your goal. I like to say that grief provides the fuel. It provides the motivation, because most of the time, if things are okay, we aren't motivated to change anything. Change is scary. But when we're in pain, that pain can be so powerful to motivating us to change the way we're living our lives, to make it more important, more powerful, more purposeful.
Yeah, so let's pause there for a moment. And listeners, I just want you to take that in, that there is such truth in that. When we are in pain and we are in discomfort, we can be then very motivated to shift, to move in a direction, and that change that seems so scary before we were resistant to suddenly is not so much the case. We can actually seek movement. It can give us focus. It can give us purpose. So just pause for a moment and take that in. Really powerful wisdom that Dr. Michelle is sharing with us. And then I know you have put together an amazing gift for us today. Do you mind sharing a little bit about that gift?
So, yes, I would love to share. So I have this mini book called Essentials for Grieving Well. And I created this a few years back, and in addition, I coupled it with a series of emails. And I just went through this again recently, because it's a good idea to check through and see whether it still resonates. And it's amazing. There are tools there for dealing with grief from the very moment of loss. What to do, how to handle it so that you don't get overwhelmed, so you take care of yourself. It is about self-care and about self-love. And that is one of the gifts of grief also, is that we learn to take care of ourselves. We have no choice. So this gift is really great for giving you guidance and giving you tools for navigating that very tumultuous and challenging journey. That there's guidance for over 7 weeks. You have specific and simple instructions that you can do to change and move forward. So that's my gift. And this is for people who are dealing with grief right now, but, right immediately, but even people who have had grief, a while back, or losses a while back, they can utilize this. And I just wanted to also offer that at the end of this series, there is an offer to connect with me. If you're ready to connect with me now, please go to my website and shoot me an email, and I will give you the offer of a complimentary consultation to help you get going on the next phase of your life.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. And listeners, I want you to really feel the support that is being offered to you, that this is a resource, and that Dr. Michelle is making herself available as well to support you during this time, whether it's a past loss or it's a loss that's very fresh and tender right now, that you have support that you can lean into. We're going to let you know how to access her amazing gift towards the end of the show, but please know it is there ready and for the taking to support you on your journey over the next 7 weeks. And I kind of feel like it's being held with simple steps that you can take step by step to be supported and to learn how to take care of yourself powerfully in the process, because there's only one you, and you are absolutely a treasure and absolutely needed in this world. Well, we are getting ready to take our next commercial break. So you know what that means? That means these next 2 moments, these next 2 minutes are just for you. Please cherish them and spend this time pausing, listening, processing what's been shared and spoken into your heart during our time together. And we'll look forward to continuing the conversation in just a moment.
This is the Voice America Women's Channel, where your success is limitless.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Relationship issues? Anxious? Parenting challenges? No more. Learn to live your best life. Tune into Straight Talk with top therapist, relationship, and anxiety expert Sandra Reish. Learn to transform your challenges into effective solutions. Whether it's relationships, parenting, anxiety, or other traps, Sandra will show you how you can live the life of your dreams. Listen live every Thursday afternoon at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Health and Wellness Channel. Do you find yourself working tirelessly to keep your business going? Are you finding out that you don't have time for family, friends, any kind of personal life whatsoever? It's time to stop feeling trapped by your business. Tune in to Reclaim Your Freedom with host Shirley Dalton. You'll hear from guests that will help you work on your business instead of constantly in your business and get your life back while the business keeps running and humming. Reclaim Your Freedom airs live every Tuesday at 1 p.m. U.S. Pacific Time on Voice America Business.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com and make the most of an incredible life transformation. Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes just for you. You will have another opportunity during our show to give yourself 2 more minutes. So be looking forward to that and leaning in as we build that practice of being present, of being purposeful in what we're choosing to bring forward. That's so key to living a purpose-filled life, is remembering to pause and choose what we're wanting to echo forward and bring forward. Well, our next guest expert, and I'm going to call her mine, is my Kathleen Sims, who I just adore. We've had her on the show before. Many of you have heard from her heart and her wisdom before, and we're excited to have her back. But Kathleen is just an amazing woman of love and vitality and heart that I know you're really going to enjoy all that she has to share today, and a dear friend of mine. So many adventures that we've had on this journey in life. Right, Kathleen?
Exactly. You're going to make me laugh. I have a lot of joy around the memories of having fun with you.
Thank you. I smile back. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Enjoy. But let me share a little bit of Kathleen's background. She is the co-founder of Center for Conscious Living and is a powerful, I would say, love teacher, and really is bringing forward this legacy of love teachings to support all of us in the world, to really be able to lean into having deep, abiding love in our life, to creating that and attracting that and bringing that in. She specializes in the love teaching and workshops, is a leader and a speaker. She has soul-based counseling and healing and coaching that she brings to the world. She's a co-author in multiple books, many books, and 5 of them have actually become #1 bestsellers. So it is my deep privilege and honor to bring the amazing Kathleen Sims to the show. Welcome.
I just love that. Thank you.
You are so welcome. Excited to have you. So can you share with us why? Why is this helping people lean into love on such a deep level so important to you?
Well, I met my husband in high school when I was, a teenager, and actually got married when I was in high school. And I saw a picture that I was already married to him before I even knew his name. So this very strange thing happened to me that I realized later was like a clairvoyant experience. And it put me into 15 years of researching what is love and what is relationship and what is connection and at the deeper level, what are soulmates. And I came to realize that is exactly what my husband and I were, soulmates with an aligned purpose in life. And after that 15 years of looking at what is that all about, what does it mean, and looking at how can I teach it to others, I created the workshops and, my coaching practice around that deep experience and study. And then, I was with my husband for 4 decades, which is 40 years. That's a really long time. And throughout those 40 years, almost all my lessons in life came out of the relationship with him. So it was wonderful a lot of the times, and sometimes it wasn't. And when it wasn't, I really embraced it as a lesson in life. What did I have to learn at the deeper level? And so that the relationship became a vehicle for personal growth and learning, which created us to have a deeper and deeper connection at the heart and soul. And it was so deeply important to me, I couldn't even hold it within. I had to go in the world and express it because I wanted everybody to have that feeling.
And that's something I know that you have shared with me and in presentations before, that your husband really knew how special the love was that you guys had. And in a sense, charged you with bringing that and helping people have that in their lives too.
That's true. I love the phrase you just used. It gave me chills. Charged with that destiny, and he knew it and I knew it, and that's absolutely true. In the last 20 years of our being together, he worked full time, took care of the house inside and out, did the cooking, the grocery shopping, everything. And he did that because he saw us as partners in the world teaching about love, and that he was the one behind the curtain taking care of things so I could be out in front of the curtain teaching about love.
Yes.
And it brings to mind a very fond memory of mine, which is that one morning he came up to me and hugged me, but he didn't just hug me, he held me. And it was, unusual, and he was going, Then he said to me, our love is so special. He said, everybody deserves to have this love, this kind of love, and I don't know anyone that has it. And all of you take a nice deep breath in and feel that on a feeling level when you think of that picture and that story. And that's what I bring in on Valentine's Day for myself, is the feeling that memory has with it, and that I can breathe it in, create the memory on a feeling level in my heart, and infill myself in this moment. And yet that was a memory from 16 years ago. And actually that was the last thing he said to me before he passed away, 30 minutes later he had a heart attack and passed away. And talk about a destined phrase for that to be the last thing that he ever said to me. And he wasn't ill or anything, so I had no idea. We had no idea that he was going to transition at that time.
Yeah. Can I, and I appreciate you sharing that, and it makes kind of that calling so profound and so powerful that you've been given, and I know it's so your heart to share in this way with people. There's another memory I was going to ask if you would mind sharing about the jewelry box.
Oh.
I love that. Would you mind sharing?
It gives me chills. You bringing it up, I get chills. I would love to share that. Such a fond memory. And again, it's Valentine's Day. Isn't that the perfect day to share this memory? Mm-hmm. I came home from work one day, and I walked in the bedroom, and my husband was sitting on the floor in front of this upright wooden jewelry box that I didn't have before, and he saw it at the store, thought I would like it, came home, put the whole thing together, and it had, 10 drawers in it. And he took all my jewelry out of where I had jewelry in multiple places and put it all over the floor, and then he arranged it. He was sitting on the floor arranging these things, this jewelry in this jewelry box he had gotten me for a gift. And when I walked in, he wasn't quite done. So he was sitting on the floor pairing up earrings, and it was, the look on his face was like he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, because he wanted to be done before I got home and have me just walk in and be surprised that the jewelry box was there filled with all my jewelry. But when I walked in, I caught him because he wasn't quite done, and he was pairing up earrings, and I said, "What on earth are you doing? I've never seen my husband look at my jewelry." And he said, "I'm organizing all the jewelry in this jewelry box I'm giving you. And as I'm sitting on the floor looking at your jewelry, it's taking me longer to do this, because every time I picked up a pair of earrings, it brought to my mind a memory of you looking beautiful and having these earrings on, across 30 years. At that time, we'd been together 30 years, across the 30 years of our life together." And he said, "And it's been so much fun sitting here all day, reminiscing and feeling the feeling from the memories of you."
Mm. And I thank you for sharing, and I love that, because to me, when I first heard you tell me that story, it made me smile, and then it touched my heart, and I thought, wow, he so cherished you. You were so precious to him, and the memories were like jewels to him. And I just thought it was so beautiful. So thank you for sharing. And our time is asking. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Our time is going so quickly, though. I haven't given you an opportunity to share about your amazing gift. So we are going to do that when we come back from our next commercial break. So listeners, take these next 2 minutes just for you and see how Kathleen's shares have touched your heart. And is there a fond memory that you can bring that beautiful feeling of being cherished or feeling that towards another, that you can bring into the present moment? And I invite you to do that during this next 2 minutes, these commercial breaks, this next 2 minutes. And when we come back, we're going to have Kathleen share about her amazing gift and then some exciting tips. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
The Voice America Women's Channel.
Tune in to the Just Jan TV show at justjantvshow.com. Visionary women's leader Jan Jorgensen is inspiring, practical, and visionary. Jan brings us everyday transformational emerging leaders, courageously changing the world by speaking and living their truth. Sit around the table with us for profound feminine wisdom, insights, and connection. Be sure to join us at justjantvshow.com. New episodes are every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time at justjantvshow.com.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
The Voice America Women's Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those wonderful feelings, those memories, that you're able to bring them and really sit within them for 2 minutes, just really feeding your heart powerfully, those rich feelings and emotions and memories. And I hope that you enjoyed sharing that Kathleen gave us, really taking us through some of her precious moments and memories, and the rich gift of sharing those with us. Now, I promised I would let her share about her amazing gift when we came back, so I want to make sure I honor that promise. So Kathleen, would you please share about the amazing gift you want to make available to our listeners today?
Absolutely. I have a free ebook that's a gift for each and every one of you. It's called Manifest Your Soulmate, which sounds like it's for singles only. However, it isn't. It really is Manifest Your Soulmate if you're single, and the process is beautifully done, even if you're in a relationship, to bring you to a closer soul-to-soul connection. So in that ebook is the process. It walks you through a process to a deeper and deeper level of what is love and how to find it and how to attract it, and at the deeper soul level. So enjoy.
Thank you for that beautiful gift, and for singles and for non-singles, a rich gift to support us in deeper connections with one another. And I wanted to let you know how to access both of these gifts. The one that Dr. Michelle, and I want to correct, I mispronounced her name earlier. Her last name, it's Peticolas, correct? Dr. Michelle?
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
I was making sure. Sure. So it's Peticolas that she has made available. And then this wonderful gift that Kathleen has just described. You can find all of these beautiful gifts at a link called radiogifts.net. radiogifts.net. So it's a net full of multiple gifts. You simply go in and put your name and your email address so we can stay in touch with you, which we love to do. And then scroll down to today's date, which is February 14th. And you will see Dr. Michelle's beautiful picture and gift and Kathleen's beautiful picture and gift. And if you look around, you're going to see a library full of resources and gifts to support you. And you are welcome to lean into as many of them as will be supportive to you in your journey. We want you to have the same level of access to experts that I do, because they change my life. They equip and empower me to go out into the world in a way that is purposeful and meaningful to me. And I want you to be able to do that as well. So I encourage you to lean into those gifts. Be willing to say yes to as many as are supportive of you. And then Dr. Michelle also extended the invitation that you could reach out to her. And Dr. Michelle, was your contact information in that book as well?
Actually, it is. It's at the last page. There is contact information. And this is an ebook, so it's a downloadable PDF.
Perfect. So we wanted to make sure you knew how to get in touch with her if you wanted to lean into the generous offer that she made to that you can reach out to right away. So go ahead and download her a beautiful gift, and then go to the back page and you'll find all of her contact information, which will be great. And then Kathleen, is your contact information in your book as well?
Yes, it sure is.
Perfect. So again, you can have amazing access to these two powerful leaders and healers that are leaning into you. And I want to thank both of you for sharing from your heart today, being on the show, and sharing your wisdom with us so powerfully. But I want to ask another favor for one more piece, one more tip to equip and empower our listeners today. They've had time to process all that you have shared, and I wanted to give them just a little bit more, that as they go back out into the world, they're able to take this tip or this idea or this next step with them. So, Dr. Michelle Peticolas, do you mind sharing what your tip or suggestion or parting thought is for our listeners today?
You bet. So my tip is to allow your feelings. And sometimes that's scary when you're grieving, but if you allow your feelings, just let them flow, and you don't allow your thoughts to get in, but just focus on the sensation. First of all, you'll release it out of your body, and which is very important, and it will dissipate in 2 minutes or less. You want to do this in a safe place. But if you will follow this tip, this is a really good way to keep the emotions flowing and not shut yourself down.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, and just that assurance that in 2 minutes that it will pass, it will be released. That's, again, very, very hopeful, because I don't believe any of us want to be stuck or stagnant. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
And keeping it and having a safe space to do that's really, really important too. So there was several tips rolled into that share. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And Kathleen, where can we get? I'm trying to phrase this right because we were talking about this during the break. But I'm going to actually. I just feel like it's not flowing quite right. I would love for you to share what is on your heart around love with our listeners today.
Yes. This comes out of a realization after my husband had been gone for a couple of years, and I had gone through a lot of grief and so on. I had this realization that I really missed him, but what I missed was being active with him in the world, so that what that means is where I missed him was outside of myself. And I realized that the feeling of him and the memories of him that I cherish live in my heart, and they continue to live in my heart. And that in my heart, nothing was missing. It was a huge insight for me. And that my heart is full from those moments of love that occurred, like the jewelry story. When I told that story a few minutes ago, I could feel my heart be activated, and I got chills all over my arms and the top of my head just telling the story, and that happened 20 years ago. So my tip is to acknowledge within yourself that your memories that are heart memories still live in your heart, even if they were a long time ago, and that you can do just what Dr. Michelle said, and that's take some time, be in a safe place, close your eyes, and put your hands on your heart and bring up a memory that's a cherished, sweet memory, and feel it. Don't just have it as a picture in your mind. Actually feel it in your heart. And what that shows me, and hopefully it'll show you, is where love resides is in your heart, whether you're single or in a partnership, that you're the one that activates it within your own system, if you will. It isn't if somebody gives it to you from outside of you. So happy Valentine's Day. Go to your heart with fond memories and feel your own love in your heart.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And I want to wish all of our listeners a happy Valentine's Day. And I want to send a special thank you out to all of our listeners in Sweden, in France, and the UK. We so appreciate you as listeners, and I want to send a special thank you and heartfelt hug to each and every one of you and every listener today in the United States, around the world, Australia, New Zealand, India, wherever you may be. You are absolutely needed. You are an amazing gift in this world. And the way we can make a positive global difference is one heart at a time, one life at a time, being willing to share our gifts, our talents, our abilities, our memories, the way we're made with each other. So I want to encourage you, as you go back out into the world, share those stories, those memories that were laid upon your heart, so that wherever you go, whatever you do, may you always, always, always bloom where you're planted and shine. I look forward to talking to you next week. Bye, everyone.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Women's Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.